Welcome in or welcome back. Bienvenido de nuevo. We have a lot to unpack in this video, and I want to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on in the broader San Diego County real estate market. I wanted to get out and get some fresh air as well. So I kind of want to break these numbers down for you. I got all the data right here, and I want to kind of unpack this in a way where people can understand what is going on, but then also how to navigate whatever it is they're trying to accomplish with selling or buying or anything like that. And if you guys are in the San Diego County area or the Tri-County area, Orange County, Los Angeles, Riverside, please reach out to me and set up a consultation. I'll be happy to assist you. So first and foremost, we need to understand that people that live in California, the California real estate market is very diverse. And when you come down here to San Diego, we have one of the most robust, dynamic markets in the entire United States, okay? And we're much more shielded from economic turmoil, anything that you hear negative on the news about price fluctuations. San Diego, Los Angeles, Orange County are less prone to price fluctuations to the downside. Like we've been covering here on the channel, there's other states that have experienced massive downtrends recently in the last 2 years, Texas, Florida, and other states, and we've covered them here on the channel. But also San Diego in particular typically is shielded from a lot of this stuff, okay? And same with LA County and Orange County as well. So understanding that dynamic, we can kind of put ourselves in a position where we know that if other areas are, increasing volatility, that it's probably at some point going to reach the southern Southland, but to what degree is probably going to be a lot less than what else is going on in the United States. I just want to kind of throw that out there. If you guys are looking to move into San Diego, it's a market that is kind of plagued with low inventory, which has kind of propped up these prices for a while. But it's also an area that is experiencing a diminishing buyer demand. And that's kind of what we're seeing now is we're seeing less of a demand in the San Diego County area. We're seeing people that are taking their homes off the market due to, them not getting the price point they want and things like that. So I just want to kind of break down these numbers for you so you can understand why. All right, so roughly in San Diego County right now, we have just under 6,000 listings, active listings. And out of these listings, really about a third of them sit in the bracket under 750,000. Okay, exactly 2,187 listings are going to be sitting under that bracket of 750K. Okay, and what are those? Those are mostly townhomes, condos, and homes in National City, Chula Vista, some of the homes that are built in like the 70s, 80s, 60s and older, kind of in these inner city corridors, and they're sitting on the market, guys. And I want to tell you how long they're sitting on the market. So they're sitting on the market for 30 plus days. And how many of them are of this price bracket I just told you? 62%. Okay, and if we jump up to the median house income, which is just under $1 million in San Diego, we are seeing half the homes, 54% of any of the homes between the price point of 750,000 and $1 million are sitting 30 plus days on the market. Now, if you're appropriately priced, I have the same data that's backing up saying that if you're appropriately priced, a little under 40% of these same homes are selling within the first 2 weeks. So if you guys are sitting on the market and you're sitting on the market for 30 plus days, it's obviously, you guys know what that is, right? You guys know what that is. So I want to break down the numbers further for you. So 35% of that same bracket, under 750K, is sitting over 60 days. All right, the average market time for that same bracket is 115 days. Okay, when we jump up right under to $1 million, we're seeing about a quarter of those same homes sit on the market for 60 days. Now, what does this mean? Well, this means that two things are happening. Buyers they're not around to buy them, okay? And they're not going to continue to pay a premium on a home, especially when you could go down to Chula Vista. You can go to some of these newer developments out in East Lake, and you can pick up a brand new home for the same as a resale condo in El Cajon or Lemon Grove or any of these same areas. So you're really kind of playing with the new construction, the new builds out towards the East Lake area, or even homes that were built during the COVID era. And people are finding it hard. Sellers are finding it very difficult to yield the same return for a home that is 50, 60, in some cases older, for roughly the same square footage, roughly, not being in the best area, a home that potentially needs a lot of work. So that's kind of some of the dynamics that are pushing buyers kind of on the sidelines right now, is because these homes that are, coming onto the market that need $50,000, $100,000 to be brought up to date. We're kind of living in a world where people don't want to do that. Okay. If your home's not move-in ready and you're sitting 30 to 60 days on the market, you need to discuss with your realtor what is going on. And if they're not pushing you to lower the price, you might want to start doing some investigation on why why your home in that area is potentially not selling. Because like I said, if a home is appropriately priced up to $1 million in San Diego, it should get an offer within 2 weeks. Okay. 40% of the homes, and I just looked at the data, are going under contract in that time frame. So like I said, if this isn't you and you're sitting on the market, you got to ask your realtor why. And then you also got to press that same realtor to give you some data, make them provide to you what homes are selling in the area, what homes are similar to your home, what square footage homes have sold in the last couple days that are close proximity, same square footage, built in the same time frame. What is the price that they're selling for? How long are they staying on the market? And if you're not having active discussions with your realtor about this particular topic, then it might be time to shop around, guys. Okay, it might be time to give me a call. So past that, I also want to discuss some of the reason why this under $750K price point is continuing to accumulate days on market. And obviously, for one, that's going to lump in condos, townhomes, which we've seen a massive increase in HOAs. We've seen a massive increase in these, this ability for these communities to reach structural demands by the county, by the state. So this gets passed on to the homeowner, all right? And that's why a lot of these people are, getting out or trying to get out of these condos and these townhouses, because by the time you add a $300 to $500 monthly HOA to these same properties, that $750,000 property could easily exceed, $850,000, almost $900K for something equivalent because of that high HOA fee. And we live in a world, guys, where people are becoming more savvy to this, and they're not interested in paying these additional fees, these additional assessments and things like that. So as bad as the sellers want to get out of these properties, you're finding the same kind of pushback from potential buyers saying, I don't want to buy a place with a high HOA, or an HOA at all for that case, or go into this building that just got a special assessment that's going to add another $800 on top of my mortgage payment, and along with the higher insurance premiums that have been coming over since post-pandemic. So that's kind of some of the driving forces that's affecting that under $750,000 price point. And I think we'll continue to see this. I think condo owners and townhome owners, from what I'm hearing on boots on the ground, talking to these for sale by owner type clients, is that they're just too overpriced, and I'm not saying that, the prices have to crash to receive some type of buyer pool, but you do have to realize that if there's no demand, naturally the prices are going to come down for people that have to sell. A lot of these people don't have to sell, right? They're kind of just thinking, oh, well, I'll sell if I can get my price for it. But I mean, guys, if you're sitting on the market 30, 60 days, that price is not working. And it's probably never going to work, because we're going to be moving into the slower season where inventory is actually supposed to be picking up right now, but it's not. It's slowing down into August. And then when we start moving into those fall and winter months, where typically buyers get the advantage in terms of negotiation, because, most of the homes usually sell in the spring going into the summer. So, you know, that's another thing to keep in mind. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of people delist and they're kind of waiting it out on the sidelines. But I think that these same people potentially could get to a scenario where, you know, they might really kind of have to sell and they're kind of just being kind of stubborn about it. So when they go to try to sell it at a future date, thinking, oh, I'm just going to wait 6 months or I'm going to wait a year and see what happens, they might actually indeed get less than if they were just to lower the price initially to kind of fall into this bracket of this 40% of home sales that are, you know, selling within the 2-week period if they're appropriately priced. So just kind of keep that in mind too. And the reason I'm kind of hyper focusing on this 750 and under price point is because these are the ones that are sitting 60 plus days, almost half of them. Okay, 40+% of these are sitting 60 plus days, 30 plus days, right? So if you start moving up to the higher, you know, price points, up to, you know, over $1 million, 1.2 million, right? You're starting to deal with not only different people that come into these mortgage instruments differently, meaning they come in with 20-30% down. A lot of these lower price brackets are coming in with FHA, VA in some cases. They're not putting a lot of money down. So the buyer pools in some cases might be bigger, but it does create this kind of weird dynamic where these people that are a little bit more financially secure to buy a home, they're really making sure that that's the home they want, which is why once you go kind of up in that higher price point, over 1.2 million, you know, it's not too uncommon for a home to sit over 2 weeks, right? And obviously if you go into the more luxury market, you know, up to 2, 3, 4 million, you know, 45 days is not crazy, right? That's not a crazy amount. That's, especially when you get over the 5, 6 million, you know, 90 days is not a crazy amount. So it's just different dynamics for each price point because different buyer pools exist in these price points. So we have to understand that as well. If you guys got any comments, reach out to me. I'm going to start doing more update videos. I'm going to be back in San Diego tomorrow. I'm going to be giving you some property tours and some riding tours to show you kind of what you get for certain price points. That way we can continue to discuss some of this unfolding data. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.